Hey y'all, so I hope everyone is having a wonderful afternoon or morning or evening or whatever it is wherever you're at. Today we are going to make a Mocha Latte inspired soap, which was actually inspired not by the actual Mocha Latte, but by the actual Mocha Latte, which are a pair of twin does that we had born earlier in 2020. I think it was, I'm gonna say March. I think everybody was born right around the same time. So it was around the 1st of March, the first week in March, Mocha and Latte were born. They are twin La Mancha does. And as I am making this video, they are at new homes. That was not something that we ever had planned. I planned this soap not too long after they were born. I designed it and everything soon thereafter. So it's kind of bittersweet that I'm making this soap for them when they're no longer here, but it wasn't safe for them to stay. The trees that we had were leaning too close to where their shelters are, and so they both had to leave. Actually, Latte had left a little earlier, and then Mocha left right after the hurricane. So anyway, they are no longer on our farm, but they have been rehomed to wonderful homes and wonderful farms. So we are very grateful for that. And we're going to make this soap and try not to cry as we remember Mocha and Latte. They are still here. I mean, they're still on this earth and still doing well. So there's no reason to cry over them, just that they're not here and we don't have standard La Manchas on our farm anymore, which was really a hard thing to do. And it was very upsetting at the time to think of it, and sorry, I'm gonna start to cry. But anyway, let's make some soap instead of crying, shall we? And this one is obviously coffee inspired, and we're gonna have some coffee, some organic cocoa powder, some organic coffee beans, all kinds of good stuff are gonna go in here. But right now we're just gonna get our oils and our goat's milk and lye solution blended up. All right, so we're gonna have to blend a little bit more when I add the colorants to the two different layers, so I don't want to get that too blended. Let that sit for a little bit. So we're gonna pour off some. It's gonna be our latte portion, the white portion, so the milk. And it wasn't until about, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago, I guess, that I even discovered. I mean, I knew we drank coffee. We were huge coffee drinkers, but I used to get like frappuccinos, but I never tried any of the other hot coffee drinks until we moved to the house we're living in and discovered a little coffee shop that moved really close to our house, which is totally unfortunately because it has cost me a small fortune in coffee drinks. But anyway, so I discovered mochas, and I had never had a mocha before. It's a coffee kind of hot chocolate mix, and I love a good coconut mocha. That's my very favorite. So when these two does were born this year, one was white and one was like a chocolate brown, and I just thought it was like the perfect names for them were Mocha and Latte, since this is one of my favorite things. And they happened to be born in the morning when I usually have my good mocha. But anyway, so this portion is going to be, we're going to add some organic cocoa powder. So this will be our darker. In this portion, I'm using actually 2 different fragrance oils. So I wanted to have kind of a caramel, because Latte herself she wasn't just straight up white. She had like caramel color as well, like a tan color in her. And then Latte, or Mocha, was pretty much brown. I think she has a little bit of white, but not a ton. She's mostly just like chocolate brown color. So this is going to represent the Mocha portion, and we are going to add our fragrance oil to this one. This is a coffee fragrance oil that discolors, and it's caramel notes and coffee and just vanilla. It has a lot of high vanillin content, so it's going to darken a lot. But I'm adding the cocoa powder so that I can see that darkening now, and it'll be present in so I can see the design better as I'm making it. Because otherwise, I mean, it doesn't instantly darken. It takes a while, so this helps. And then I'm going to also add some ground organic coffee beans. They're just freshly ground today. I'm gonna add that to this portion. We make another coffee soap, My Coffee Obsession, which is actually made with coffee as a portion of the water. Use water and goat's milk. This one is just all goat's milk because a latte is just straight up milk. So, well, it does have espresso, obviously, but we wanted this one to be more chocolate scented, more along the latte lines instead of like an espresso, which is really a lot of coffee flavor. A mocha has just a small amount of coffee flavor. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and, at least the coffee shop where we get ours, it does. It has we only get 1 shot of espresso, so it's not a huge amount of coffee. I just love the mocha. I wish I could make them at home. We have tried. We have our own grinder, and we have a Ninja coffee machine, and we also have a commercial coffee machine that we actually stopped using a while ago because it drained too much power. So it was really kind of difficult to keep clean and everything. So we have kind of retired that one and just use our Ninja now. But it just doesn't taste anything like what I can get from the coffee shop. So this layer is going to be our white layer. So I'm gonna go ahead, this is our chocolate fragrance oil, which is from Rustic Essentials. I think it's chocolate layer cake. It doesn't really darken a whole lot. So, oops. All right, so let's not try to spill this stuff everywhere. Anyway, I forget that this has a hole in the top of it. So we're going to add our titanium dioxide that I have pre-mixed in distilled water here. And that's going to need a blend with the stick blender so we can lighten it up. But anyway, this chocolate flavor does not really discolor a whole lot, even though it is a chocolate color. So it's going to stay like a nice creamy, color, vanilla-y color. All right. So even though this represents the latte, who is white with creamy colors, I actually use the chocolate flavor, or the chocolate flavor, but the chocolate fragrance oil in this one because I knew it wasn't going to discolor. So now we're just going to go and I think I'll save just a little bit for the top. A mold hold over here. Doesn't that kind of looks like a latte with the swirls on top? Or a cappuccino, whichever, whatever the one is that they make with the foams on top with the designs. You don't really get that in a latte. All right, so this needs to firm up a little bit and then we'll come back and add the rest of it to the top. All right, I think this has firmed up enough now that we can get the rest of this kind of drizzle it on here so I can get a swirl. I'm going to swirl it because I love a swirl, and then we'll texture the top. I think a good swirl mixed with the texturing kind of looks really cool. It smells so good. Makes me want to go get a mocha, and I haven't had one today. I've been trying not to for obvious reasons. Don't want to have all that sugar, you know? And unfortunately, I mean, the coffee isn't organic. I really try to drink organic coffee, to be a coffee snob or anything, but there is a local coffee shop that does use organic coffee. I mean, it's not like local though, because it's in a part of town, which I very rarely, like I think I've only been over there like one time. And when I did, I went to the coffee shop that was there. They make an awesome mocha latte, which is even like keto. Well, not really keto. I think it's paleo friendly, but it does have milk in it, which is not paleo, but raising dairy goats and trying to do paleo, I mean, I have to drink milk, raw goat's milk. You can't get much better than that. It's easily digestible, and it's good. It's got good bacteria in there for the gut. So it's, in my opinion, really, really good stuff. We'll put that on the wrong side. But anyway, so it's not strictly paleo, but it is sugar-free. At least refined sugar-free. It has, of course, maple syrup in there. Now those I can actually kind of make myself. I can make a decent maple latte. I just haven't been able to master the mocha latte. And spoiler alert for my husband, as I know he doesn't watch these videos. At least he watches them when I'm editing, but I can keep him, I control that situation, so I don't have to worry too much about him finding things out. But anyway, I hope to. I get a bonus from a company that I work for at Christmas time. And at least I will this year, hopefully. And if I do, I should have enough to buy him a real, actual, commercial espresso machine. So I hope I do. Fingers crossed that I actually get that, because I would love to get that for him. And he makes the coffee. So for him to be able to make me my own mocha, I mean, oh my goodness, it's like about dream come true. But anyway, let's swirl this with my bamboo skewer here. Ooh, doesn't that look so pretty, y'all? I mean, seriously, it looks like white chocolate and milk chocolate together. What could be better than that? All right, I left my spoon, hold on. Kind of hate to ruin this good swirl, and I can't find my spoon, so I'm just gonna use my spatula. And we're gonna go back and forth, one on one side and then the other. And we're gonna push that swirl kind of up into the middle. Oops, I almost messed up there. So anyway, so I hope I'm able to get that for him. I mean, he doesn't ever ask for much. Usually whenever we ask him what he wants for Christmas, he'll say he doesn't need anything. And I just really wanted to be able to get that for him. Oops, I messed up on that one, didn't I? That was supposed to be, oh well, that one will have double. All right, cool beans. So now I have some organic coffee beans over here that I snagged from the coffee bar, and we will put those. And I do, my husband makes coffee. We drink it every day. He makes it every day for us. He works a swing shift, so he is not actually home in the morning all the time. So sometimes he works a day shift and he isn't home. But when he is home and he's working nights, he comes home in the morning and makes me coffee before he goes to bed. And then when he works nights, or when he works days, he makes the coffee at night for us. And we drink decaf, so you can have it at night. It doesn't bother me if I drink any kind of caffeinated beverage. I try to drink it during the day, obviously, because it doesn't help me sleep at all. I know some people it doesn't bother. Like even my husband, he can have a caffeinated drink. When we were first married, I mean, the crazy man could drink like 3 Mountain Dews. And he doesn't, we don't drink soda anymore. But at the time he did. I mean, it was like he could drink these Mountain Dews and then go to bed. I was like, I never know how, but he worked so hard. He was, he is an electrician. At the time he was a commercial electrician, working job sites like building big huge buildings in Tampa, and the Tampa International Airport he worked on, and he just worked like a dog. He was just like worked like a dog. Now he has a maintenance position and so he's an industrial electrician now. Works a little better hours and not quite so physically hard as it used to be. It's more mentally hard. So you have to do a lot of preventative maintenance. But anyway, at the time he worked so hard that I guess he was just so tired from the day it wouldn't have mattered if he drank 6 Mountain Dews. He would have been able to go to sleep because he'd worked so hard during the day. But anyway, so that is that. And then I'm going to go and just going to do a little tiny little dusting of the, I don't want to cover up my swirl pattern we got there too much. But this is just the organic cocoa powder again. And that is that. So this is our Mocha Latte soap. It will be cut, we'll be back and we'll cut it in about 18 to 24 hours. Usually right now, with as busy as I am, it's usually about 24 hours where I get to cut and I'm making soap more than I'm cutting soap. But anyway, we will be back and see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, hello beautiful people. So we are back and we're going to cut up our Mocha Latte, which I'm going to turn it on its side because we have those organic coffee beans, which some of them are going to fall off, but we don't want them to make drag marks, or at least try to reduce the amount of drag marks that we get through the soap. So we're going to put it on its side and see how this little baby turned out. Now remember, the vanillin content is pretty high in both of the fragrance oils that we used, but the chocolate fragrance oil is actually a reduced vanillin content, and we added titanium dioxide to that. But you can see from the edges, you can see the difference where that line is around the edges, where we will get some more darkening, especially from the coffee fragrance oil that we used for the main batch, which we actually colored with the organic cocoa powder too. But I think it just looks too cute. I mean, if soap can be cute, this soap is cute. And it just smells so good. It has that coffee flavor without being like over the top coffee, because we all know when everybody gets a mocha or a latte or a frappuccino or anything, we're actually there for the flavoring. And the coffee is just an added bonus and that good little caffeine kick. That mid-afternoon break, that 3 o'clock blood sugar crash, get you some caffeine and get through the rest of the day. I must say, I really never feel that anymore. I used to for such a long time. My crash usually happened about 3 and lasted until I went to bed. It never got any better. And I couldn't have caffeine for the longest time until I got my gut all situated and overcame some of the health issues that I had. I couldn't drink caffeine because it used to give me like such a horrible heart palpitations. I mean, like anything, even like hot chocolate, because chocolate has caffeine as well. I couldn't even have hot chocolate. It was so depressing. I did find alternatives though, because I really do like tea. And my favorite tea when I couldn't have caffeine was chai Rubios. Because Rubios it tastes a lot like a black tea, but it isn't, and it doesn't have any caffeine. So I could have that. So that's what I primarily drank all the time. So we used to make kombucha, and I couldn't even have that because we used black tea to make that. And then I found one, and I wasn't eating sugar as well because I had to feed it with sugar. So I couldn't have that even with the sugar in it. So we went with something called Jun, which is a kombucha that you make with, or a kombucha type fermented drink that you make with honey instead. We did that for the longest time. I haven't done that in a few years. I mean, we still drink kombucha, but I buy it instead of making it. I really want to get back at it. We haven't done anything fermented since we moved here to this property, and everything kind of went south for us. So that once we moved here, I'm not sure what was going on, but all of our sourdough, we couldn't keep it alive here. And our SCOBY passed away, which is SCOBY is what it's like the starter for kombucha, if you know anything about sourdough type stuff. And we just haven't tried again. I've done yogurt with our goat's milk. That's a lot easier, as it doesn't have to, it ferments only for a short amount of time, unlike kombucha and water kefir and all that good stuff. All right, so that is our mocha and latte inspired goat milk soap. And we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe, you can do that and you will get notified every time we upload a new video, which should be once a week, if not twice a week. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comment section below. And we do appreciate all of our subscribers and everyone for watching. And we thank you so much for being here. And we hope that you are well and you have a very blessed day.